Good morning, students. Today in grammar, we'll be talking about adverb of frequency. Adverb of frequency. That's the first slide you're seeing here. Adverb of frequency. How does it look? Let's see. How does it look? Always, usually, or frequently, often, sometimes, occasionally, rarely. Okay, these are the words that are usually used for adverb of frequency. These are the words that are usually used for adverb of frequency. Or never. Never. So we will look at this word with percentage. Percentage. Now we are adding mass to it. It's a sign to show how high it goes or how low it can come. Okay? Percentage. You will be learning that in maths while you go to year 4, 5, and 6. You continue with that. Just for you to know the word, percentage. So it tells how much it is. Is it very big or is very small? So the highest percentage is what? Let's see if anybody can try. 100%. So let's go to 100%. Let's go to the next slide. So you see, the percentages are always is 100%, meaning you're doing it always, 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 always. 80% is usually. 80% is usually. Often is 60%. So you see, as it happens, the number goes down. As it happens, the number goes down. 60% is often. 40% is sometimes. 20% is hardly never. That thing is hardly for it to happen. And 0% is it doesn't happen at all. It doesn't happen at all. Okay, let's see, how do we understand this? How do we identify this? If they ask us, how will we know that this is the percentage for always? This is the percentage for usually. This is the percentage for often. This is the percentage for sometimes. This is the percentage for hardly. And this is the percentage for never. So let's see. Okay, so we use what? We use adverb of frequency to answer the question, how often? So when they ask you a question, how often do you ride a motorbike? So they are asking you of the frequency of the number of times you do it. The number of times you do it. How often? The number of times you do it. Okay? So whenever you hear of adverb of frequency, it goes with the question, how often? How often? Now let's look at this quick example. I read a book every day. I read a book every day. This frequency will be what? If I want to put it under the percentage we have, from 100 to 0. Who can help me? 100%. 100%. Meaning the person is doing it every day. Every day. Every day. Every day. It's always. It's something that is always. It's something that is always. So if you don't want to say, I read a book every day, you come down in the second slide, you can say, I always read a book. So instead of mentioning the number of times, you just use always to say it. I read a book. Always. I always read a book. I always read a book. I read a book every day. So you can change every day to always. You can change every day to always. Let's look at the next slide. I play the saxophone 5 times a week. Now, this is coming up or down? It's coming down. Remember, the first one is always. It's always happening. There's no timeline to it. There's no days to it. Always, always, always. All the day of the week, from Sunday to Friday to Saturday till every day of the week, every day. But this time around, it comes down with a time limit, with a time of the week, a limit to the week of how many times it's been done. So I play the saxophone 5 times a week. So this now, we're going to rate it in the percentage. Where will it fall on? It will come down to 80%, which is the same thing as usually. 80%, which is the same thing as usually. So if you don't want to say, I play the saxophone 5 times a week, you can say what? I usually play the saxophone. That's what you will say in the next slide. I usually play the saxophone. Let's go to the next example. I ride my bike twice a week. Now, it is coming down again. In the second example, we saw that it was for 5 times, but this time around, it has come to us twice. Twice. The same person is riding a bike just twice a week, but this same person did what? Used to play saxophone 5 times a week. So you did this time around, how often he rides a bike comes down to twice. So if we're going to rate this, it will come down to what? How many percent? 60%, which is the same thing as often. That means you don't do it always. If you look at the calendar, it shows in a week just twice. So each calendar tells you how that thing happens. It tells you how that thing happens. Okay, so I ride my bike twice a week. So in the next sentence, if you don't want to say I ride my bike twice a week, you say I often ride my bike. So twice a week is replaced with often. Twice a week is replaced with often. Now, let's do a quick one. I will not call it a quiz. I'll just call it a quick one. Now we've known this frequency, and I told you from 100 to 0 has to do with how often you do it. So you will go through this sentence to practice them. How often? Always, usually, sometimes. When you read the sentence, you will have to go back to the frequency and look at it. Is it going to be always? Is it going to be usually? Is it going to be often? Is it going to be sometimes? Your example has been given to you with always, usually, often, and sometimes. So it is for you now to quickly do what? To see how you can identify the rest. We will talk about it during the Zoom lesson. There was the Zoom session. We will explain more on hardly never. Never, you know, it's what you do not do at all. So we will start with this first trial. I call it a trial. I don't want to use a quiz. I'm just going to call it a trial. So I ride my bike twice a week, remember, and this is going to run from slide 11 to slide 20. So you're going to practice and practice and practice and see until you get the right one. Okay, the fact that it's written as quiz does not mean it's a quiz. It's just for you to practice to see how you can achieve your goal of understanding adverb of frequency. Okay, it is written as complete the sentences with the options on your right. So you will choose the option on your right to fill in the gaps you have. I ride my bike twice a week. So what am I going to use? Okay, I often ride my bike. So remember that when they write a word, you need to replace it with the other one of 100% to tell you that is the same thing. Okay? I walk my dog, okay? You see it like that until you get to the end. Till you get to the last slide. Okay? I do hope you enjoyed this lesson. We will see in the next lesson, which is going to be spellings. Okay, we will talk more during the Zoom session. Enjoy yourself and have a nice day. Bye.